Hi everyone, my name is Julia. I'm CEO and co-founder of S.Lab. This is Show Me Your Actions podcast. And here we discuss all the things around green technologies, innovation, circular economy, and female leadership. This is the last episode of the first season of Show Me Your Actions podcast. And today we have a very, very special guest. Normally, he stays in the shadow and never gives interviews. But only today, exclusively, he's going to share his insights. Our guest today is Eugene Tomilin. He is CTO and co-founder of S.Lab. He is the one who founded our startup and dedicated his life to make sure that we are not using harmful materials, and he wants to save the nature and our planet. He is not only my co-founder in the startup, but Eugene is actually my life partner. As we've been married for 12 years already, we have 2 kids, and as if life was not hectic enough already, we co-founded S.Lab. That is like our third baby. Welcome, Eugene.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah, for the first time in probably time being of our startup, you are actually here. And I often get accused of keeping you in the basement because basically everyone knows that I'm the founder, the CEO of S.Lab, and probably they heard that we do have a CTO and another founder, but I'm like a face of our startup. So of course I'm representing most of the times S.Lab. And it's a deep honor for me to represent what you've created, as you are the one who is behind all the technology, all the innovations. So finally, today we are letting you out to see some light of the sun. And my first question, so how do you feel to be a CTO of the deep tech startup that is focusing on sustainability?
Well, what can I say? I receive my food on the regular base, so I would say I'm happy, man. So I'm just kidding. How to be a CTO is a good question, but I think I still cannot feel myself like a CTO. So it's just a name, just a word. But I'm still continue doing what I did before when that idea came to me, that big dream, when I decided to save the world, to save the environment, and I really wanted to do something useful, not just money making, not just living for myself, one more life that is useless, like, for my opinion. So yeah, I just continue doing these things, and the main thing here that I see the problem, the environmental problem, and I want to find the solution for this, for solving this problem. And this is like, it's not just a final result, it's the way. So how can I do these things like step by step? It's very long term process, and on the each step I can find something more useful for us and some solutions that we can implement in our technology, and I'm happy to see if it works and how it works.
Wow. I think everyone would be curious to hear how you approach innovations because you, as CTO, you are not only engineer, but you are actually handling so much more. You are the one who creates all the innovation in S.Lab. You are the creator, the ideas maker. So when you have a challenge or a problem or something that you need to solve, how do you approach those things?
Okay, of course, everything is starting with the great idea, the good motivation to do something, but it's not enough. Then you need to have some experience, some knowledges, and the first thing that you should start to like to collect, to find something, some knowledge that you can use later. And what I did at the beginning, very beginning, so I spent the whole day making some experiments, creating some so-called equipment, and
So cold.
so-called equipment, yeah. And after that, I spent about half a night researching, learning, finding something. So I read, I think, all information that I could find at the time about mushrooms, about biocomposites, about what else can we do in this topic, in this area. And of course, I started to notice some disadvantages of these solutions that already existed at that time. And I was trying to think about how can I convert these disadvantages to something more useful. And that's the way how this technology is appeared. It wasn't just like a magic, like a miracle, like a mind shot. I don't know how to say it. It was really a hard and long, like journey. Yeah, and still we have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of things that we need to solve, and it's like still continuous process. I think it's never ending. It's never stopping. We can improve this technology. We can improve what we are doing every time, every day, and every minute.
So I think your formula of successfully solving some problems. So first you research information, you try to find the best solution, then you try to implement it as fast as possible to make experiments, as you said, and then continuously improve on those.
Yeah, that's right. That's the reason, yeah. But as you mentioned before about my engineering skills, I would say that I'm not engineer at all. My graduation is about law. I was a lawyer, master of law, etc., etc. But I think the only advantage that I get from my education is that I can gather big amount of information and make some points from this information and combine it together. So what the innovation is this? It's just a combination of such solutions from different topics, from different areas that you can use for solving your specific problem.
Yeah. And I like how you say that we are, as you said, that you are gathering all the best solutions from different industries, and those industries might not be related at all to what we do. And I think that's also like an open mindset of you, that you are not limiting yourself to packaging or to mushrooms industries. You actually are looking very widely on all of the industries that are using hardware technologies, and then you try to find the best part and implement it at our startup.
Yeah, that's right. And the coolest thing here that I'm not a professional of any of these topics. I'm not like a biotechnologist. I'm not an machinery specialist,
Don't say
etc.
that, our investors will be very disappointed.
But it's true, and the coolest thing here that I have now this narrow mind of all this, I would say narrow specific
Limited.
limited like skills.
Yeah.
Because what are professionals usually doing? They see some problem and say very fast, okay, this will not work because this will
Because
not
this,
work.
this, and
Yeah,
they
because
have million of
I
reasons.
have a lot of knowledge and knowledges about this topic, and I can see you definitely this will not work. How many times I hear these words? Believe me. So I was consulting with a big amount of professionals or specialists, like bioengineers, like PhDs, mechanical engineers, providers and producers of like really cool machinery. And many times I hear the same thing, that your idea is the best, it's very good, very naive, but it will never work like this. Fortunately, I never believed them. And it's so funny to show to these guys our equipment that we are using right now that is working exactly the same way that I wanted that it should be working.
Against all of the physical laws and so on and so on.
It's not against the physical. There is the physical laws inside this process, but I had no these limitations because I'm not a professional. I was too naive, to think about all these problems.
Yeah. So I think you are proving the point that you are not only dreamer in your life, but you are a dreamer in the engineering, and you can be a dreamer there, even though engineering seems to be so strict and so limited with the rules, with how you need to do the things right. But what you're proving, that you can actually be a dreamer even there, even in engineering, even in the innovations?
I would say the innovations in engineering is the most dreaming area in the world.
Because you create something.
You create something new because without your imagination, how can you create something new? It's absolutely not possible. And engineering is the one of the best instrument that can convert your idea, your dreams inside it, like into a real, like material world.
I want to say that I'm a true fan of this man, and I think he's the most intelligent, the most smart person that I ever met. And I'm so happy that today he's giving this interview and answering the questions. And finally, everyone else can know this about him. But now we are, I think, transitioning to the next topic. So, as I mentioned, that I am normally the face of S.Lab, and I am representing the idea, the things, what we do. And of course, I'm backed by this creative, dreamy innovation that you created, by the traction that we got, by amazing solution that we have, by great team. But of course, many people ask me, how do you feel being not on the storefront of our startup, and me being like representing startup, driving it from the business perspective? So how do you feel? Would you like to switch roles or positions where you would be the CEO and actually representing us, and then me maybe being CTO or whoever else?
It's very difficult even to imagine that we can switch to our roles. I would say that at the beginning of this startup, of course, I had to do all these things by myself. So not just experiments, not just like a technology, but the representative of the startups, promotion, etc. I did all this, and there was time that I understood that either I will like promote something, or I have to be focused on the technology itself. I absolutely, definitely cannot do these things at the same time. And fortunately for me, that you have all these skills that drive us, that promote us, that bring real life to this startup. Because to be honest, without money, all this idea is just it's just an air, it's just an idea. We need source of power, we need fuel to bring it to the life. And you're the very right person at this position who can do this. And when we talk about co-founding in startup, we first of all have to speak about trust. And from my side, I can trust you like as myself, because I sure that if you cannot do this, what you are doing, so no one can. Okay, and one more thing that I want to tell about to be a founder of startup is first of all is to be true with yourself. And there was time of self-reflection when we decided that you will be CEO, I will be CTO, and then I thought about if it's okay for me if no one will know me, but I can see the result of my job, for example, in every grocery in the world. If I can see the eco packaging like a default thing, not just an exception, not just like alternative, but like a normal thing. And the answer was, yeah, I want exactly this thing. I don't care about all this glory. I don't care about if no one will know me or not. It's for nothing. The main thing, what can I do to solve this problem, environmental problem? And I absolutely happy that we have these roles, that we can trust to each other, that we can not be fighting for for being
At the spotlight, right?
famous or not famous. It's like it's illusion to be famous. What does it mean? It just came from your brain, you want to be famous for what reason? Today they are talking about you, tomorrow they will not talk.
Sure.
But if you feel it like your job, because you have to do this, you have to do what you are doing to bring success to the project, everything will be fine. Not to forget your mission, your first idea. Why did you start this?
Yeah. So just full disclaimer, I also didn't want this whole spotlight, and I wouldn't say that I have a spotlight at all, but I think when you are doing something great, when the solution that you actually bring to life is awesome, is needed, then all of these things come together. And this is the best thing for me, yeah, to be the face of the startup that is doing something so great that everyone is a fan, basically. So every person that I interact with and explain what we do, they immediately become a fan of what we are doing, because the problem that we are solving is so big that, of course, everyone understands how important it is to work on that field. But then let's switch to another topic as we discuss female leadership here in this podcast. And this has been said so many times, but I will repeat it again, that only 2% of VC financing goes to female founders. And I remember this conversation with you. I don't know if you remember that, but once I told you that probably if it would be you as a man fundraising and promoting our startup, it would be so much easier for you, because again, only 2% of the investments go to the female founders. Then all the 98%, they go to male founders. But what you said to me is that this is not what we are going to do. This is not our path. Our path is that you are actually going to do that. You will prove that it is possible, and you will serve as a role model. That's what you told me. And every time when I feel that I cannot do this anymore, I just remember those words. And I do believe that, yes, I can be this role model. And I think that's what we've been proving already, because we were able to raise around $1 million to our startup, which is a big number already. And there's been a success and already a successful story to everyone else. But still, there is so much bias around female founders, female CEOs especially. So what's your take in this whole bias around female founders, and I would say overall females being not judged by their achievements?
You know, all this story is also about sustainability in the relations. Who decided that women are worst business or the best, or who decided this? I cannot understand this at all. If we speak about genders, of course, like a gender, all of us has its own advantages and disadvantages created by natures.
Yep.
But instead of judging someone, we can use this like a synergy. I understand my weakness, my limitations, and I know that you, like a female, you have these advantages, and we can collect them, and we can like synergize them to move faster, to move stronger, more efficient. And why should we avoid these possibilities? And moreover, like a father of two daughters, I want to bring some impact as well here to the future generation, because I understand how probably difficult could be to my daughters prove that they are at the same level. They are the same humans. They have the same IQ level, maybe higher. I don't know. But why should they prove to the world that they have the same rights? It's absolutely, it came from previous ages, but nowadays we cannot like behave like this. Nowadays we have a lot of other genders, not just male or female. We have about 40 other genders, And in my opinion, this is like also the part of human evolution. It's like it's came by nature. No one decided that today we will have such a lot of genders. It came naturally. Why should we stop, or what should we do something with this?
So, in your opinion, what should we do? What should be our actions? Show me your actions in terms of closing this gap between rights of women and men, and maybe not even rights, because formally we all have equal rights, right? But there is so much bias that is actually affecting the way that women are treated and how they are seen. So, what do you think? What should be our actions collectively about that?
This is very good and not easy question. I would say the world of like that we were grown in, where we had all these relations between genders, it's like a dinosaur world. It was thriving for decades, for ages, but everything gonna to be end, at some point. And nowadays, it's exactly what is happening here. I think we need to wait a little bit more because what I see now that all these movements, all these activities around the female leadership, etc., we have really great result of all these activities. It's still like question of the time when all these problems with genders will be solved in the natural manner. Like, and I believe that in our next generation, when our kids will be like grown people, we will forget about all this problem like bad dreams. And so when I speak with someone about job or not about job, I make evaluation based on the skills or IQ level or whatever. But for me, it doesn't matter. I talk with men or women for what reason. So for me, it's most important what this person can do or cannot do. And if it's like women, I'm okay. If it's men, I'm also okay.
I'm also okay if it's men.
If it's like no this, no that, but something else, something more, it's also okay. It doesn't matter. We're the same humans. That we are moving somewhere. All of us, we have some role in this life, and just gathering, just meeting each other, we can move more efficient. We can move like in a synergy. We can teach each other in bad or in good way, but still we can have some lessons out, like came out of these meetings.
Once I heard that we actually need men that stay behind women and help them to overcome those inequalities, those issues, those biases. And I think Eugene is a great example of such men who never judge person based on the gender, but more about the personality. And I think this should be a norm where no one is judged by what gender they are, rather their skills, their achievements, and their personality. So, as I mentioned, you are not only my co-founder, but my husband. So basically, this means that, first of all, we are always connected, even when normal couples, they go to their jobs separately. And everyone is taking their time, they are doing something at their work, but we work actually together. We have one project that we develop together, and this means that we are talking about this all the time, first of all. Second, when it is a startup, you cannot just switch off when you come from work, right? Or when you close your computer. You are actually always a founder. You never switch off. And of course, the question is the balance. Do you think we have any balance in our family life between startup and being actually a couple, being a family?
Yeah, this is a great question, and I think we're balancing all the time, uh, doing what we're doing, and to
Balancing
be,
on a thin ice.
uh, yeah, to be honest, it's very about balance. To be honest, it's very complicated to find this balance. So when you're passionate about some ideas, some business that you are doing, it's very complicated, to switch yourself. So of course, like a father, like a mother, you have kids that really need your attention. They need you to be with them as much time as possible, and of course you need to share this time with them, like not just being nominally there, but be efficiently, almost like deeply, totally with them. And this some kind of skill, how to switch yourself, because I think this is one of the most important thing when you're in a business or when you're doing whatever. So it's very important to have possibility switch yourself. First of all, it's very good from burning out. Without this skill, uh, you will burn out very fast. And also, it provides you a very good opportunity to take a look from side on what are you doing. To maybe to analyze your mistake, anything. So that's why every guru is recommended to read some books, not like exactly the specific books. It could be anything. Walk around the nature. I don't know, like keeping silence, etc. It's very powerful instruments, and they will teach you how to switch yourself. And about being a couple in a startup, in a business, personally, I believe that I'm very happy man, because we not just a couple who live together, but we are the persons who make a business together. It looks like a roller coaster when you together you're moving to the one side and then back and then one side and the back, but you're doing this together, and this is amazing feeling that you can share your happiness, not just being like living together, but doing something together. You can share your pain, you can share your tiredness. And one more time I repeat this, it's very important to have some people in startup that you can trust. I mean totally, that I can be absolutely relaxed about what are you doing, about your role in this startup, that I sure that if you will not do this, no one can do this, especially me. So this is very good thing. And also we, if you remember, was a little bit prepared to such like lifestyle like this, because in our past we were traveling a lot, like a family. It was not just a honeymoon or vacation, it was lifestyle, like a traveling like a lifestyle. We was working, we was living, and this is also like a small project. Every time it's like a small project. And I think that created us like a really good team. The first of all, the couple should be like a good team, because also we have two projects like our kids, we have startup, etc., etc.
Yeah, so I think what you're saying is that startup actually gave additional sense to our couple and to our team.
Definitely.
Because I think we've been, yes, as you said, we've been a great team for many, many years before we founded startup. But then here we actually became a better team with, yes, more responsibilities and more things to do, more things to rely on. And actually now we can rely on each other more. But we have a bigger sense in our couple, right? Because we want to create not only kids and like have a home or family, we also have this big dream that we want to make sure that it's there, it's live. So in terms of that, my final question, what is your big dream for S.Lab?
Okay, as what at the beginning, nothing changed since this time. I have the same dream to see this product, the eco packaging, this eco material, like our things, like default things. So when I will see this packaging in every grocery in the world, when everyone will use it, or for example, such a big company like no name, yeah,
XYZ?
XYZ companies will use it like regular packaging for their needs, then I would say my role in these startups is done. So I can be relaxed, I can be calm, and that I already did something useful for this nature, for our planet, and for humanity as well.
Thank you very much, Eugene. It was a great conversation as always. And this type of conversations we always have at our own kitchen. And I'm so happy that finally the world could hear your thoughts and your insights. I'm sure our listeners will find so much valuable information in what you shared. And with this, we are ending the first season of Show Me Your Actions podcast. And if you want to listen to some guests, so let me know who you would like us to invite to, and stay tuned for the next season. Next episode is coming soon, so hit like and subscribe.